Oh. Well then, let's continue in this still very much so flawed translation. Sadness indeed. Ah. Yeah, really not wanting to play ball. Not even with the spoken voice lines. To be fair, nobody really does that, but some do to a far higher degree than others. Which, really doesn't paint a good picture. That should be, what's the name of the place? Long Lie, I want to say? Hey, I was right. Got to see that my memory works for games. It's one of those mysterious little things, you know? I have a fucking problem remembering names, titles, whatever the fuck. But goddammit, give me a game I like, somewhat even know of, mind you. And suddenly, names stick. For some mystical reason. Strange how that works, isn't it? Ah, strategy, greetings. My far later than I wanted to anything, basically. And good news, my internet is back. My internet is back indeed. You're the one who gave Farin some trouble, didn't ya? This poor little sod. I remember. Pretty much yes. She is the kind of woman who indeed does things because she can. Basically, you've reached the point of being so fucking strong and so fucking out there that you just do shit because you can. She's pretty good at it. Actually, she can join your team in the future. This should be the intermission chapter, which means we're going on vacation this time. I did love this chapter, didn't I? Yes, I did. Now, technically speaking, you know, just to put a bit of perspective into this, I'm actually playing this game twice. I play this version, you know, with you on stream, and then I go back and play the other version with the fan translation, so I get the direct comparison. Because, you know, I kind of thought, like, at some point I kind of would like to make a nice video about just how sloppy translations are these days. So, you know, to prove the point that they haven't really gotten better since back then. Sure, the English sounds better than in Breath of Fire 1 and 2, but they're still kind of just fucking around, aren't they? So, you know, I do this. In far worse news, sadly enough, once my internet came back on this fine evening, so roughly half an hour ago, I looked on my phone, so I got a nice little call. And that is indeed the call I was waiting for, meaning that tomorrow, since it was far too late, I'm gonna have to call them back, and then, well, then I guess our fun time is going to get its first major cut-in. I'm not looking forward to that. That's maybe the reason why I'm playing this today, because I kind of would, you know, do something for my mental health, basically. Games like this do wonders for that. At least as far as I'm concerned. Must realize though, it's also really hard to not just... You're like, ah, yes, this is character XYZ and she's gonna do this. But I don't really want to spoil it, that would be kind of mean. So many harsh things to do. No, the world will not be thankful for that.
気づかれていたか。さすがは名高き白金の剣聖。今回は威力偵察。
It's another divine blade, isn't that nice?
できればそれでいい。脅威度 S 級オーバーの使い手2名。ブリッツハルベルトで仕掛けるぞ。
See, why do they get DR right, but not the Ura? Ura's the same, and it's easy enough, isn't it? You literally just have to put a nice little text window in there going like Ura. That's all we wanted. But now you're going like, no, we're gonna make this more complicated. But you managed to get the year right. Bastards. I know, with nitpicky, I know, but come on. Although, but technically speaking, you should also know another Divine Blade. At this point, which would somewhat assume that you played Trails of Cold Steel, which you might not have. I could try to give you the overview there, but that would take a long while, considering that Trails of Cold Steel is basically 5 fucking games. And that would be a lot of spoiling, and I don't like to do that. You never know. Even with old games like Baldur's Gate, I'm somewhat trying to not tell you too much about it, in case you actually do want to play it at some point, and you haven't somehow managed to not play it in the last, I don't know, 20 years or so. There might be someone out there, you know? It's pretty heavily implied that she knew they were there. And they were like, okay, she knows we are here, come, let's try. They're not going to be successful. Especially Princess of the Ikaraga, that's not going to work. Even if you are pretty high up. Jäger. What? Well, I'm not going to mention your name because we don't know your name yet, apparently. Man with eye patch, it shall be. No. She's mostly doing it for the funsies. Literally. Actually fucked with Reen, just for the funsies, basically. Good times. Also, man with eye patch, shouldn't you be, I don't know, dead at this point? Yes, you should be, but you're not. That sounds like a very, very nasty situation to be in. I wouldn't want to fight this bitch. For good reasons. Very good reasons. Good times. Now then. It's always nice. It's nice that everything is so easy to understand structure-wise. Get a nice little cutscene at the beginning of the chapter. And you get to fuck around and eat it for a little bit. And you go wherever it is you need to go. Also pretty sweet. Nice and easy to understand, isn't it? Since this is going to be probably, potentially, the last time we can enjoy some, well, late night fun times for a bit. I actually got myself a coffee at this particular hour. Something I would normally not do. But you know, I want to make the best of what little time we have left in this format, don't we? Shouldn't we? Ah, our most beloved Z1 racer. Although to be fair, that is a lazy approach. You take the good old-fashioned Formula 1 and just changes around from F1 to Z1. Same thing. Then again, you know, actually it's rather surprising that you achieve, comparatively speaking, even close to that in speed with augments. It must have been a pain in the ass to do. Judith.
一度話をしてみたいと思ってたの。あなたのファンや恋人さんにちょっと悪い気もするけど。
Don't worry, he doesn't have a girlfriend at the moment. He is, however, looking for someone. Rather desperately.
いやいや、これでもマシンが恋人でね。
Although to be fair, he does have an unfortunate tendency to be somewhat more flirty than strictly necessary for his search, which has given the a bit of an impression. Let's just say the media just loves people that stumble around like that. Ah, Yellow Press has always a field day with stuff like that. What a good question, isn't it? Yeah, totally not.
食事だけなのももったいないだろう。お近づきの印にこれから首都高ドライブに招待するよ。その先はどうなるか。僕と君次第になるけどね。
ふん。さすが手慣れてるわね。歯の浮くセリフも様になって。
There's a certain talent, yes, yes.
まあいいわ。各地に出向いている噂。ばっちり確かめさせてもらうわよ。
Oh, believe you me, he is traveling the country. North, east, south, west, wherever. He's been there. Oh, he's going there.
構わないわ。それじゃあお手並み拝見と。
なんだ？
Take an educated guess.
Z1 トップレーサーマキシム・ルーガンさん、バズ・レイダーのものです。
Ah, the best shot of journalism.
お話を聞かせてもらえないでしょうか。
バズ・レイダー。メルド以上に立ちの悪いゴシップか。
They do have a very good reputation.
それでですね、マキシムさん。ここ3ヶ月の間、サルバッドにラングポート、メッセルダムにクロスベル自治州までオフ中あちこちに行ってますよね。
Yes. Why he would believe, even for a second, that somebody who actually enjoys quite a bit of popularity could get away with that without being, you know, put under scrutiny by ye olde yellow press who do so much enjoy writing stories about such nonsense, and then coming up with lots of cool reasons why somebody would do that.
独身なのをいいことに各地で愛人を作ってのやりたい放題。いよいよ首都でも解禁ってわけですか？
どうしてそれを？まさか毎回つけていたのか？
The fact that you don't realize that that's basically how they earn their money. What does the yellow press do in simple terms? Well, they find something you're doing, take note of it, then they're going to start writing some very fantastical nonsense that would give you a reason for what you're doing. That probably has nothing to do with reality, but that doesn't matter, because that is precisely the sort of sensational nonsense that you can draw in potential customers with. And after all, people do have a nasty tendency to look at the successful is one way of saying it, but more like popular ones, and you know, see them stumble. Yeah. Honestly, at this point in time, his best reaction, it's kind of a bit of his character, to be fair. He's not nearly as much of a playboy as he likes to pretend to be, on one hand. Yeah. But he's also not the brightest. Yeah. What he should do, of course, is, you know, run the fuck away and go like, no comment, I'm going, this is my car. Touch my car, I'm gonna call the cops, so fuck you. He would have that option.
確かに夜遊びくらいはしてるが、ちゃんと目的は別に。
Yes, yes, but you have no reason to tell them that. They are not going to take your words anyway. I'm going to come up with reasons for what you're doing. That's not quite what he said, game, but maybe get your excitement. Yeah, that's totally gonna fly.
まさかこんな大物がかかるとは。よし、これでメルドに勝てる。
Listen, they're not gonna write his words down and use them. No, they're gonna take the scene, go like he gave a comment. They're not gonna actually quote his comments. And they're gonna come up with whatever fuck reason. Now they have a fucking good reason. Because now it looks like he's gonna be fucking a movie star. Which, to be fair, you know, if the movie star is sexy enough, I'd be not opposed to that idea. Although there aren't really that many good-looking movie stars these days that I would actually want to fuck. Sad. Hollywood has really fallen, but that's another topic for another day. Yeah. At best, they're gonna take small bits of his comment and put a very different context on it. But far more likely, they're just going to, well, come up with their own interpretation. What is precisely what's going to happen now? To be fair, that is part of the, well, I guess the burden of being popular, basically. If you are a figure in the in public, basically, then whatever you do, it will be seen, it will be judged, and it will be put into the most interesting of interpretations. And I mean, technically speaking, whoever, because at some point you made a distinct choice to do so, but you can't really complain about that now, can you? Indeed. You really can't. Technically speaking, that would be even true for me, and I'm a nobody. But still, you know, if I put my stuff out there and somebody looks over my fucking stuff and decides to take some of my quotes, some of my more joking quotes, mind you, and try to give them the appearance of me being serious, I can't really complain. I made those statements. If the context of these statements is lost, then the other side can be like, well, that wasn't our intention, it just so happens to be that, you know, due to the limitations of the videos we were making or the article we were writing, we just had to, you know, cut out certain things, and I'm very sorry about the potential problems that come from that. But it's actually really easy. Anyone who makes any sort of content and puts it into the public is potentially going to take the risk of being, let's just say, portrayed in a rather unfortunate way. If somebody else wants to do it with, you know, their mean intentions. Not really that fucking hard. I mean, I could do it. Like, I could do it to myself now that I think about it. Oh, easy enough, I have all of my videos. Now that I think about it. Which also means that I had the displeasure of having to listen to myself quite often, and yeah, sometimes I was also like, if I take this one singular statement, just cut that out, take a few more from another video, yeah, that would make me sound rather horrible. Not that I give much of a flying part. Indeed. For the most part, it's just part of, as I said, you know, putting your stuff out in public. That is how it is. Indeed. Which is why, and that is something I knew because I was, of course, selling magazines as well for a long while, so I was working with one of the, or well, multiple of the big publishers in order to get the magazines from them. And these people actually have quite the hefty budget for their law department. Why, you might wonder? Well, because they get sued like every fucking week. Every week they bring out like 5 magazines, and at least 2 of these magazines will have something in them that some star, quote unquote, takes issue with because it is a false statement or something is taken out of context or is just blatantly just made up, and so they sue the publisher, and the publisher then goes with their very, very large law department and tried to make it. At worst, what that ends up with actually is that they have to print a correction basically in the next issue, where they're like, so basically they have a very small little field, usually on the and one of the first pages. It's like, regarding last issue, you know, date XYZ, the statement made by, I don't know, star XYZ was falsely interpreted, we corrected this, we correct this, he meant this, and basically it's just a very small thing nobody cares about. They get away with that. They also have to pay like a few, it's basically pocket change for them. They pay a bit of pocket change and print a little correction, and that's it basically. Nothing else really happens. It's pretty disgusting when you think about it. Now the good thing is I'm far too interesting for any of the big players to get that, but technically speaking, you know, who knows? Maybe at some point in the very far future somebody will actually bother with that. I would have a fucking field day with somebody trying to paint me to that light. I'm pretty good at doing that myself, I'd say. Oh well, maybe I wouldn't. Since I never was in that particular situation, up until today, maybe I would actually take it personally. It's not very likely, but, you know, never say never, I suppose. Look, it's a run. That has never stopped people. Even when people die. Even if people are, due to false information, driven into the corner where they're basically suiciding themselves, even then, the ones who wrote the original articles usually don't get more than, a little bap on the head, like, don't do that, that's not very nice of you. But since you can't really, prove that they're at fault 100%, you're not ever gonna get anything out of it. It's disgusting. And it is very much out of human nature, sadly enough. No, I want to drown like this too. It's cute. And it can go shopping for me. I like that. I actually would like that very much so. But alas, can't have everything. God damn it. Gee, it's the intermission. Told you so.
さて、改めてゲネシスとバンさんのグレンデル化だけど、
the Grendel. Grendel is a pretty cool little thing. I like
現
it.
時点でゲネシスそのものに迫るのはやっぱり無理みたいだ。
This will also give me a nice opportunity
多分
to
古
prepare the
代遺
pipe.
物に近いプロテクトが何らかの形でかかっているんだろう。アニエスさんにだけ反応することも含めて、まあ
Rarely though.
マフィアは
Rarely
何
does
か
anyone
知っ
get
てそう
shut
だ
down
け
for
ど、
things. Because then it comes back to the question of intent and purpose. But hey, that's kind of the risk you take. If your job's basically misinforming people, you should be well aware that you're taking a certain risk. And still, many companies become relatively big by just doing that, so they're not gonna stop anytime soon. Lucky enough, most of the classical yellow press, as in classical printed yellow press, keeps to, a video which go to the radio star, and said radio stars, and pretty much anything else in this particular sphere. But they rarely get involved with the online personas, at least as far as the German yellow press is concerned. Meaning that even if I should become a great person, I probably never have to read a fucking... Actually, I would buy that. I would buy that one and probably put it somewhere on the wall, on just the right page. Every day I would walk by it and go like, ah, yes, somebody considered that to be important enough to make an article out of. What is that? I'd be fucking amused by it every single day. Ah, I can absolutely see myself doing it. Yeah. I think the American yellow press is a bit more broad in their scopes and in their conflicts, I'd say. But then again, it's America. America always needs to be rushed that little bit bigger, don't they? Yeah, fucking fly. I can see you, bitch. Ah, summer. Well, yeah, America's always bigger. Bigger country, because they're fucking big. Bigger spendings, in every way. Bigger problems. And also tendency to make even the most minute little molehill into a fucking mountain of a problem. That's too something the Americans have a tendency to do. That and being absolutely stupidly obsessed with nonsense. That's amazing. No, that's true. Ah, the Americans. The melting pot that lived and thrived of the American dream. Worse roads, actually. I've seen some pictures of roads in America and I was like, yeah, okay, so even our roads are not that fucked up for the most part. But yeah. I guess it's one of the problems if you're the biggest hegemon we have in the West. Everything is going to be a few sizes bigger. I just hope that they at some point come to the same realization that I did, and quite a few others did in their pursuings of life. Namely that they should stop probably dividing themselves along such stupid lines. That would be most fortuitous for everyone involved, but I have a distinct feeling it's not gonna happen. Oh well. But let us not bother too much with the Amerikanskis. They'll have to find their way one way or another, or alternatively they can just continue on their course until they, well, destroy themselves. Let's choose an option. After all, even civilizations are not forever. They have a tendency to reach their zenith and break down. Who knows? Well, it kind of depends on how your government system is. For example, Germany, just like America, is a feudalistic state, meaning that we are basically the combined subtotal of our individual states combined under one government. So like the Americans, we do have a federal government, we have a state government, and we have government or managerial for the individual cities. Or city, yeah, city is actually the right thing saying it. Commune would be the word I'll usually use around here. But since that is also a rather loaded term. So we have a little cut in darkness already, so kinda like to have Ferry around. Ferry's cute. I like little cute Ferry. I'll take that with me. But yeah, depending on what sort of government, many other countries, of course, are not feudalistic in nature. So basically, you just have your federal government, who manages everything, a centralized government responsible for everything, like, for example, France does that. But if you have a feudalistic system, what ends up happening is that different of the layers of government you have are responsible for different things. For example, and that is something that I have always taken issue with, the education policies and system is managed by the individual states in the case of Germany, which is horrible because that leads to, well, different spendings, which means the facilities you have for education, schools, is not the same across the whole country. The pure worth of getting anything out of that education is not going to be considered the same because, for example, the education in Bavaria is always going to be counted higher than, for example, the same degree you could get in Saxony or something, which is annoying and basically puts people on a worse foot than they would need to be on, although they went to the same education. But yeah, that sort of feudalistic system has its problems. However, it is a pretty natural end result when you think about it. In the case of Germany and of the course of America, it's the same. The American states, as well as the German states, were very individualistic. And basically, you couldn't just take all of their rights away and put them into one singular country. So to find a solution to combine them all into one was to basically grant them quite a bit of independent rights, so long as they agree to be under the umbrella of the nation. It's a bit problem. Now, of course, that also means that stuff like, for example, road maintenance quite often either gets shafted down towards a city level, where the city in itself needs to spend money on road maintenance, which is quite the pricey project. Or it is at least, in some cases, on the state's individual level, which is still better, but still quite pricey. And it also leads, of course, to the simple fact that you have difference in road quality as well as in education quality, depending on where precisely in the country you are. Sounds fucking idiotic, doesn't it? And honestly, it is fucking idiotic. But if you look at it historically speaking, that was the only way you could actually get all of these stubborn little bastards to fucking agree to finally unite into one single form. Now, of course, there was certain Otto von Bismarck, who was a very much a real politiker of his time and age, would have gotten his way even a bit further. These individual states would have lost a lot more rights along the way, because that was kind of his goal. However, not even he, and mind you, he's regarded as one of the top dogs of his time for good reason, couldn't get that shit done. So yeah, there was really no way, at least as far as the modern Germany is concerned, that could have ended up differently. The only ones who actually managed to somewhat juxtapose this particular nonsensical problem were the Nazis, actually, because the Nazis actually pumped a lot of money from top down into the different states, so there was a lot more compliance, let's just say. Not really, honestly. He was, as I said, a real politica. Basically, he had a very versatile position. On one hand, he did appeal to the monarchists when it was necessary and suited his interest. On the other hand, he also, I think it was Hesse actually, when the Hessen monarchy of the time was actually about to receive some rather nice rewards for their help, quote unquote, in his endeavor. He just went like, no, fuck it, I'm not giving you anything. He wasn't really, as I said, he wasn't really a monarchist, nor was he actually in any position really too deep into. He was quite flexible in his thinking. Basically, the idea of a realpolitik is always going to be like, okay, what can I achieve and how do I achieve that in the... That's not really a good way to explain it. It's basically about that you are well aware of your capabilities, well aware of what you can do, and then you do precisely that. You're never going to dream, you're never going to be an idealist, you're never going to fall for the nice words. Instead, you're going to focus strictly and solely on what actually can be done, which is precisely what he did. And he played his cards fucking well, all the time. Pretty amazing. As I said, there's good reason why he's considered such a top dog of his time, because the man was fucking smart about it. Jesus Christ. Now the new chapter. What? We need to take a bath. I can tell as much already, and we are going to probably have some more virtual fights as well. Yes. Yeah. Otto von Bismarck is absolutely the sort of character if you have some free time, you should read about a little bit, because it's quite amazing. I can tell you that much. What he achieved, depending the audacity the guy had sometimes, is kinda... As I said before, the guys have no problem fucking over whole fucking kingdoms, is the right term. Although, if you look at the space that something like Hessen occupies, it wasn't a big kingdom. But pretty damn amazing. And yeah, he was fully aware that what he was doing was absolutely going to potentially end up with him getting fucked over. Which absolutely. But that's actually the difference, isn't it? The difference between a successful person and not. Is to take the risk, throw the coin, pray to fucking God it lands on your side. I don't know. As I said, a lot of these small German states, like Hessen for example, were still, technically speaking, they had their own monarchy, they were their own little kingdoms. And they were of course independent kingdoms, meaning they can actually claim that they were fully functioning monarchies. What's the other one? Hanover. Hanover, for example, that was at the... Actually, we saw that in Victoria 3, didn't we? Hanover was at the beginning of the turbulent times in a personal union with Great Britain, interestingly enough. One of those little things where you're like, okay, seems strange, but it is what it is. It's a fascinating time, honestly. Yes, and these were fully functioning, these were kings. These people not only claimed to be as such, they quite literally were kings of their own kingdoms. Their kingdoms weren't big, but they were still kingdoms. Great times. And that wasn't the only problem that you had to face in order to get... Can you imagine going to a king and like, listen, stop being independent, stop it, we're part of Germany now. Yes, I'm going to take that with grace. Doesn't really work that way now, does it? Good times. But yeah, really an absolutely fascinating time to read up about. We have a lot of back and forth and other nonsense. And of course there's the Holy Alliance still intact at this point, which is the alliance between Russia, Austria and the Ruskies. Very different time, and so many interesting little details that lead in the end to our, modern times. Although that was a bit of a too fast development, and a lot of things sadly didn't move forward fast enough, which led to rather incomplete and rather vulnerable systems that were then put in place, which of course also enabled people like the Nazis later on to rise to power, sadly enough. But that is kind of what happens when you rush forward. But the Victorian Age is indeed a rush forward to a rather disgusting degree, I must say. Also, I think there's actually... I'm pretty sure there's an in-game achievement for taking a bath every chapter. See, that's a good thing about a game that you've already somewhat played through a few times. You end up in a nice position where you can actually take it as somewhat easy. Because your brain will do most of the thinking about what you should be doing on the side. Luckily enough for us. So, I want to once again point out the soundtrack of the, this particular district, I really like. It's nice and relaxing. Dash to wonders. I want to buy that. I don't want to buy that. Let's get some more money because I'm distinctively sure we're gonna have some need for buying again, sooner or later. And where are the yeah, there's yeah. See, these are all the exchange items. Some of them actually pretty damn fucking good. Like, that one. Accuracy plus 100%. Saves you a lot of trouble. Especially if you rely on physical attacks for a bit. But yeah. I actually do think, just to finish my thought on the Victorian Age, I do have one particular good book at it, because it's basically, it doesn't go into the individual details, but it gives you the ideal overview basically. It starts very much at the beginning, starts to explain to you some things about the Industrial Revolution, what sort of technical innovation is going to be the starting point of it, and then basically starts from there and just walks you through the basically main events of the era. It's a nice and short book. I think it's like 150 pages or so it's not really an excessive read, but it's absolutely worth it. It gives you a nice overview. As I said, that's all it does. That's all it claims to do. But it might actually give you an idea where to look next, basically. Harry was the last one I had on my agenda. Didn't we agree on that? We can't actually get it. I'm missing a bit of fire. HP also Mirage, but that's very little, so I don't really care. What is left actually? How many more characters are there? There should be 2 more. It's gonna take a lot, isn't it? Oh well, I said I'll do this first, so I'm gonna do this first. Anything else I need to worry about? I really like starting to get more of the more quartz, but I suppose I can worry about that particular thing later, can't I? Yes, very much so later. No, let's see. Do you have anything new in your inventory? Actually, since we're now collecting shit again, where is my list of nice little things I can collect? I do like to have my little list. Let's see here. There it is. Okay. Before we continue going on our merry little adventure. Oops. the habit of just going into the office. Can't really help it. Let's see if we have any new virtual combats waiting for us. We do. Tyrant. Oh, great. And I don't think we're gonna get any experience for virtually fighting them, so I guess we don't. No, yeah. Blizzard is like 3 levels behind everyone else now. That is going to bother me to no end, isn't it? But hey, having Aaron fight the Tyrant seems like a rather reasonable thing to do, isn't it? Oh well. Now then. Hello Tyrant, don't mind me, I'm just gonna... I nicely walk behind you. It's not as much damage as I was hoping. Well, hopes and dreams, as they say. Hold on, bitch. You have that one. Yeah, you're gonna do this shit again. I'm not surprised. That's actually quite a nice amount of damage you're doing there. Probably want to use a shield. Look, he's not happy. Immediately gets frozen in place. It's kind of the reason why I do like to use ice spells. Actually, let me see how that gives you... yeah, I can justify that. Then again, I can justify quite a few things if I want to. Whee! He's not happy. Especially because now he has to clone himself again. Okay, that was kinda weak, I'll have you know. Can I... Can you reach the point where the fucking clones are fucking away? Well, you would assume they would just disappear. But no, they're just gonna sit there now and be in the way. Of course they would. What are you gonna do this time? I mean, it wasn't really bad. Oh, it wasn't good, so... Nah. That's easy. Relatively speaking. Actually, the interesting question is... Well, it's not so much a question, it's more as a statement, you know, that it is once again high time to take another bath. And actually, where I'm going, I'm stupid. Wrong direction. Don't bother with the sales pitch, I'm already well aware of what you can offer. Our memory serves in total there's like 6 of these virtual combats. I'm relatively sure it is. You're sitting in a fucking sauna, of course you're gonna sweat like a bitch. It's kinda an old point, isn't it? At least it feels a lot better to do that in a fucking sauna than doing it just by fucking summer seat. I must admit. Okay. Go back and do this again, shall we? And then I did pretty good on, but let's Try to get Resetting there as well. Not ideal per se, but no, if I can take the risk. I can take the risk indeed. I really like that you got away with that first. Let's try to be somewhat reasonable here. Wasn't nearly as much damage as I had hoped, actually. What do you have? You have Cataract Wave as well, don't you? Not a bad choice. I do hate it when they do this. Like, have you forgotten that we have guards? And he's like, I kinda forgot about that. At least it allowed me to waste all of my BP. But you're not. And he's like, nah, totally cannot not do this. That's not good. Looks a bit more pissed off. And it's probably gonna get pissed off even more. I really like standing right in fucking front of me, eh? Not very nice of you. I do not find that an enjoyable outlook. That's fucking damn it. Now he decides to be okay, I don't have anything left, which means we can change our tactic to doing this. Well, rather we have to. Run should be okay for a turn or two. Okay, touch yourself. You probably need a new shield. I have a distinct feeling it's going to use the one ability that all of the bosses in this game have a tendency to do when they're getting down on health. One of the more annoying things. Actually, let's annoy him. And then let's see here. Can I maneuver myself in a way that would hit all of them? Yes, I fucking can. Okay, can't move. There it is. Oh, such an annoying ability. You're also running out of options.
容赦を。
Let's see here.
この調子でいきましょ
Of course, you can't move again.
こいつは効くぞ。
Yeah. I knew it would be a good idea to bring up the shield. For some mysterious reason, I had a distinct feeling it would do it. All is well in the world, we've done it again. The next is all one. Yeah, 6 it is. Good. I think the highest tactical bonus you need is like 5. Which is a pain in the ass to get. But technically speaking, I think... I don't know if you can still do it, but you can potentially cheese it by using items and shit over and over again. Where can I see this? Where can I help in it? There it is. Tactical bonus list. Cube battle, unscathed, perfect dodge, charge attackers, papa, all of the usual nonsense. Short power, spot characters, that's easy enough to do. First strike, and have some damage, easy enough to do. Triple, that's CLM. That can be kinda difficult, depending on what you're facing and how. Yeah, there it is. Bag of tricks. Plus 0.4. Use 3 items. So technically speaking, let's try to convert this, shall we? 0.4, which means 1.2 would be 12 items. Relatively sure. So if I do this times 12 times 5, so 60 items would be bonus of 5 plus. I might try this out at some point. The other thing that is rather annoying to get is the chain, because you need a... I think it was the 100 hit chain. Which... I mean, it kind of depends on what sort of art you use, but if you take, for example, Cataract Wave, which does like 12 hits or so? Technically speaking, if I just have now 6-7 enemies in front of me and I get it off, hitting them all, I should get that easily enough, technically speaking. Technically speaking. Very much so, technically speaking. Well, time to do our usual shopping, shall we? Always good to start off with that, isn't it? Get it out of the way. Ruin your finances for years to come.
どれにいたしましょう。またお越しくださいませ。
So you seem like you have anything interesting. How about you?
教科書は持ってるな。
Oh. Doesn't seem like you have anything interesting. Those two don't really. Don't really interest me overly much. As for you, I'm pretty sure I haven't given you anything in this regard, did I? Yeah. There goes that, I suppose. Do we have anything? Good enough for the moment, I suppose. I mean, not really, but yes. When it comes down, we should probably check the other stores first, especially the boutique. Don't really want to waste my money. I knew it. Because I did remember that somebody the fucking
好きに見てきな。じゃあな。
the roof opens up and you have
今日は
more
何にし
shops.
ますか？ありがとうございました。
Will we go to the other side?
この度屋上フロアがリニューアルオープンいたしました。
Mm-hmm.
皆様
New movie advertisement. Mhm.
今日は何にしますか？ありがとうございました。
Mhm.
メンテナンスはお任せを。
Yeah, we'll worry about that later. Nothing new here. The world is still a good place.
どうぞごひいきに。
We still need to save up. Quite a few more zipid. Hmm. Oh well.
何がお好みかな。それじゃあね。
I think that was all the shopping here. Let's quickly take a look at the list. We got that one, that one, that one, that one. Very good. Let's ignore the quest districts, I suppose. Although we could go to the... districts real quickly.
出発しよう。
We're ignoring the quests along the way. Gonna do them later. Later indeed.
あら、バンちゃんじゃない。
Of course, that's gotta be something else.
マジかよ。3年近くごまかされてたってのか。
ええ、完全にしてやられましたね。考えてみればあの人らしいですが、おそらく総長と副長、そして芸家だけがご存知だったんでしょう。
Big witch.
おとぼけ先輩め。総長も総長で水臭すぎんだろ。やっぱそのうちリベンジマッチを申し込むしかなさそうだな。
ああ、あたしらに文句あんのか？共和国のスプリガン。いや、崑崙流の落ちこぼれ伝承者。
So much hate
まあ
witch.
まあセリスさん、
Just.
すぐにガンつけるのは良くないですよ。いくら表と裏の間でフラフラしているどこの馬の骨とも知れない人だからって。
It will tell us, nah, don't pick a fight with them. But no, I'm going to pick a fight with them.
セリスだ。セリス・オルテシア。
Indeed.
あくまで巡回シスターでな。よろしく頼むぜ。裏解決屋に女子ども。
What a bold-faced lie.
巡回神父のリオン・バルタザールです。一応セリスさんのサポートを務めていまして、改めてよろしく。解決事務所の皆さん、そちらの所長さん以外はですが。
Does it remind you of a book you read once now? Does it? Darkness.